Okay, this is my May recap and my June TBR video. So, the first book I read in May was Trouble at Brayshaw, and I rated this one a 4-star. This is the second Boys of Brayshaw book. If you didn't watch my previous video, I think I stated that my best friend got me the first one for my birthday, and then she saw this one at the same bookstore, so she bought me the second one a couple days later. But basically, this is the second part of the first couple, which is Raven and Maddox. It's like their story or whatever. I don't want to like give too much into this because without like giving away like what happens to the first one. But essentially this girl moves to a new school, and there's like a whole family that like kind of runs the town but like doesn't run the town. There's a second family that also used to help run the town, but they got like kicked out, whole thing. So that's like the main plot of the first one, and then the second one is kind of what happens after that because the first one ends on a cliffhanger. So yeah, I gave this one a 4 stars. The second book I read is The Wildest Dreams Bookshop. This I gave a 4 star as well. I think I went pretty lenient with my ratings for May, but that's because I was in a slump for a while. But basically, this girl just graduates high school, or she's like about to, and her boyfriend break up, and she ends up moving to her aunt's like house to work at her aunt's bookshop for the summer. And basically, there's just a cute guy that she keeps running into who she doesn't like at first. It's kind of enemies to lovers, but like not really. But the main point of the book is obviously her within this guy, but then saving her aunt's bookshop. The next book I read in May was Reign of Brayshaw. There's going to be a pattern here, guys, okay? Once I start a series, I like to kind of read it all at once. This is the last and final book of Raven and Maddox. And again, as like the first one, the second one ends on a cliffhanger, and so you have to read the third one to find out what happens after. But yeah, I gave this one a 5 star. I actually really liked this one. Not that I didn't like the other two, but this one just, I don't know, like seeing their like story like come together and like not ends, but like end in a way was just really good. I really like the writing style. I've read Say You Swear, Promise Me Not, and Trust Me Always. I have not read the fourth one to the Say You Swear series. I want to, but Chase made me a little mad when reading Say You Swear. And kind of his part in, he just has always made me mad. So I have not wanted to read his book, but I do really like Megan Brandy's writing style. I do really like her. The next book I read is The Champions. This is the sequel to The Cheerleaders. Ugh. I usually do not like a mystery thriller, but like these YA mystery thrillers have been feeding me. I have enjoyed both of them, and yeah, I gave this a 4 star. But basically in this one, it's 11 years after the book of The Cheerleaders. I mean, basically you find out in the first one, like in the synopsis, that 5 girls have died. And so this is 11 years after those 5 deaths. So 6 years, I think, 6 or 5 years after the first book takes place. And one of the main characters in this book actually happens to be the main girl from the first one's little brother. But basically, this new girl moves to town, and she's assigned to, like, work on, well, not assigned, she works for the newspaper, but she gets assigned to do a story on the football team. And after she starts working for the football team, she starts getting anonymous notes, like, don't work for them, like, blah, 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 like, all this stuff. So she's, like, telling her to stay away from the football team. And after this, one of them gets poisoned at a party, and then one of them ends up dead. Yeah. But there's like a whole thing that like there's obviously more that happens in it. But basically the bottom line of the book is she has to like try and figure out like what the person like doesn't want to like know or whatever, and basically just tries to like get into like the bottom of like what the football players did that she has to stay away from, or that was like so bad. The next book I read, I actually started this one back in March, and it just took me a while to finish. I just couldn't do it. But I did actually enjoy it. I did give this a 4 stars. I have a lot of 4 stars this month. But it is City of Bones, and basically we are following Clary Frey. And basically she is part of like the Shadowhunter world, but she doesn't know it. And she meets the Shadowhunters for the first time and starts gaining the sight. And it's kind of her journey and like how it unfolds for her. And yeah, it does end on a cliffhanger, shocking. I do have the second one. I bought this one from half price and the second one from half price. I'm not really digging the old covers, so I might take these honestly back to half price, and then I think I'm going to go to Barnes and try and get all 6, the main 6, because I'm not really quite keen on reading the spin-offs, but I do want to get the main like 6 of the Mortal Instruments and the new covers. So I think I'm going to do that at some point, probably not right this second, but yeah, I'll probably do it once I finish the second one. But yeah, that's the 5th book I read in May. 5th book I read in May. The next one, I know this is more of a fall kind of book, but I have the first 4. I am missing 2 because my sister had the first 4. She didn't really enjoy them, so she gave them to me instead. So now I have them. But this is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I gave this one a 4 star. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. It was like Grumpy Sunshine, like, but not at the same time. Like, I don't know. He like hates going into town. So I was like, what's not to like? I think most people didn't like it though because it was like so cutesy. But I kind of love a good cutesy romance. I mean, there was some spice in it, but it was like a super fast read. I think I literally read this in a day. So I don't know. I enjoyed it, but maybe it's just me. All right. The next book I read in May was Be My Brayshaw. I love this one. I gave this a 5 star as well. Honestly, not saying I didn't like Raven and Maddox, but there was just something, like, I don't know. There was just something about Victoria and Captain who we're following in this one. We learned more about them in the first 3. But, oh my gosh, there was just something about their relationship that I just ate up. There's, like, a big plot point in this one. Just kind of, like, sums up why, like, he doesn't like her. But you don't find that out until, I think, late in the first one or like, sometime in the second one. So I'm not going to spoil what the big part is. But he does not like her. She's kind of mad at him, but she still wants him. But basically the main plot of this series is like there's Brayshaws and Gravens, and they don't like each other. You can be like born Brayshaw, like your family is like an honorary Brayshaw, or like you're a blood Brayshaw, or you can earn it throughout life, which is what most of the characters in the books have done. And that's kind of what she's trying to do in this. And she is trying to earn Brayshaw, whether it's through Captain or like through herself, like just being like who she is. And so that's like the main journey of this book, but I ate this one up. There is a 5th one. I don't want to read it on my Kindle because I'm gonna wait till I can get the physical copy, but it doesn't come out until July 7th. So I don't know. I might read it on my Kindle and then buy the physical copy, or I might just wait. But we're gonna see. Okay, the last and final book I don't have because I read it on my Kindle is called Shattered Dreams. This one is by Natasha Madison. We're basically following these two people, Charlie and Autumn, and 8 years before this. Those two, were dating different people, but they get in like a car accident. And Charlie's girlfriend is Autumn's best friend. It's kind of obvious in the synopsis that she does die. And so it turns out that there was a root cause to why why the car accident happened, but I'm not gonna spoil. But Autumn tells the truth about what happened, and basically she gets shunned for like 2 years in their small town. So then she leaves for 6 years, and 8 years later she comes back for a reason that I'm again not gonna spoil. And basically her and Charlie see each other for the first time again, and they both hate each other. Let's just put it that way. They hate each other. But one thing leads to another, and then they get together. And there's like a ton of other stuff obviously in it, but I ate up the angst in that book. Let me tell you. I ate it up. It was so good. It was just like them bonding over like her best friend and his past girlfriend was just, I thought the book was like beautifully written. There's I think 4 other books that I am going to try and read on my Kindle. I don't know if I'll get to it in June because I do have my TBR list lined up right now, but we're going to see. But that was what I read in May, and now we're going to move on to my June TBR. Currently, I am reading The Right Move by Liz Tomford. I honestly didn't read Mile High. I tried. I couldn't get into it, but I started The Right Move because I have heard it's really good. I think I'm about 20% of the way through. We're going to try and read a little bit more tonight, but we'll see. I think I started that on yesterday or Sunday. So like the last day of May, first day of June, somewhere in that timeline. But I don't know. We'll find out. But okay, so I'm going to finish that one. And then I do have 2 other books that I'm currently reading right now that I've started and just didn't get super far through that I'm going to try and finish. The first one being Magnolia Park's Long Way Home. This is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Park series. Basically, it's everything that happened after Magnolia Parks. So basically, her and BJ is still kind of on and off. But yeah, I'm only, I think, 11% of the way through this. So this is what I'm going to try and read after The Right Move, because I did start this back, I don't even know when I started this, to be honest, back in January. So I got this book for Christmas. So she's been a minute. So we're going to try and get her done. Caraval is another book I started a couple days ago, actually. I think the same day I started The Right Move, I started Caraval. I know Once Upon a Broken Heart is supposed to come after Caraval, but I did read it first, and I don't really care. But basically, we are following Scarlett and Donatella, who they called Tella. And basically, there's like this, I think it's like a game master kind of thing. I'm not really sure because I'm only like 6 of the way through. But basically, they follow this game master, and he'll come to like different like cities, like islands, towns, whatever you want to call them in this book. And you like just like play the game. And so for their like whole lives, pretty much, they've always wanted the game teller person to come to their town and play games. But he never has. He never returned a letter until one day he did. And basically, they go see Caraval. That's what the game is called. And Tella gets kidnapped by the game master. And yeah, and this season revolves around the little sister. Basically, Scarlett's job is to just kind of save her sister through this game. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's like decent, mid. I don't have the other two because I wanted to read Caraval first and see if I liked it. But I'm going to try and read this after Magnolia Parks because I do want to try and read my books that I've started that I haven't read. But if I do end up getting through the three that I'm currently reading right now, I'm going to try and read You with a View. Basically, this girl finds letters from her grandma from a man. And she creates a TikTok to like try and find out who this man is. And it ends up being her high school enemy, Theo. And so she doesn't really like Theo, but it ends up being his grandfather who wrote like the letters to her grandma. And so basically they go on a road trip. I think it's her, Theo, and the grandpa. And they just like go on a road trip to plan the honeymoon that their grandparents were supposed to go on before they just, I don't know why they didn't end up together. I'm assuming I'll find out in the book. But yeah, they end up getting together somehow. But those are like my 4 books for June. I have a couple more, like the whole top part of my bookshelf is TBR. So if I get through those, I might try and read another. I'm not really sure. June's kind of a busy month for me right now, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that's all I have. So I read 8 books in May, which is honestly pretty good for me. If I can read 8 books in May, I think I can get through more of these, but some of these are kind of longer. So we'll see. But yeah, I think I might do a reading vlog for these soon, just being like a June TBR reading vlog kind of thing. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed.